Good evening. This is Milton City Councilman Matt Kunz from District 2. And again, these thoughts are my own. I don't speak on behalf of everybody on the council, but I want to kind of tell you a story of something that happened last year. So I get asked a lot as an Eagle Scout to give presentations to Boy Scout troops as they try to get their civics merit badges. And in doing so, I want to make sure they understand how a government has to deal with conflict. And there is one conflict that I could foresee coming, and that is now as a city where we really are. And let's explain what that was. So we had about 30 kids in our city council chambers, and they were divided. I divided them up on one question. Which was it? How many of them believed we needed more sports fields? And how many of them believed that we should not have sports fields but do all we can to protect our trees? It was about 50-50 among the kids. And so I divided the kids into two different groups, and their parents were all there in the auditorium as well, watching this with amusement. But the kids, I had them select a leader amongst each group. And so the idea was, of those leaders, they would each get up and give a speech with regards to why the city needed to add more ball fields, or why the city needed to make sure we preserved every remaining tree in the city. And each kid got together and they gave a speech, but then I had the parents vote to see what they would want. And I'll tell you what happened. The kid that wanted the trees to be preserved was the one that won. That kid became the mayor, and according to our mock city council meeting, they had a council up there, and then they voted legislation to preserve the trees. The ball field kids didn't know what was going on with that, but that was the way it was. But right now, our own city is having that very debate. Our Parks and Rec master plan is coming forth to realize that we have to find a way to make sure our active uses are maintained. And as a city, we need to find innovative aspects on how to do that while preserving everything we've got. The Parks and Rec master plan that was presented tonight suggests that we don't touch Birmingham Park, which I was happy about that, but do something with Providence Park with regards to active uses. We needed to continue with our agreements with other facilities like the school systems in order to maintain some active field space as well. It was kind of interesting. There was a disconnect in the parks presentation tonight that they said, well, park field space wasn't required. It was a low priority amongst the residents. However, park youth sports was a high priority, and so there was that disconnect as well. So as a city, our Parks and Rec committee is working very hard on these things, but that is something that is, as a community, we need to be cognizant of and recognize that as these pressures economically do exist, we need to make sure we do all the things we can to preserve our rural heritage in the process. So anyway, don't want this to be too long a meeting, but I want to let you know really what we discussed tonight, amongst other things. But of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me, Matt Kunz. I'm on Twitter at MattKunz59. You can look at my Facebook page, facebook.com/MattKunzGOV. Of course, you can reach me in any way on the city email as well, but I always look forward to hearing from you, and I appreciate your support. Thanks, and have a great night. Take care.